Thank you for joining me for Season 1, Episode 2 of The Witching Hour with Lacey, where I read romantasy stories I, Lacey, write, released as weekly episodes. Last week, pirate queen Gráinne found near-to-death farmer Colm and brought him aboard her ship, where she quickly turned him into a vampire. Not exactly your traditional meet cute. Please like and subscribe. The Witching Hour with Lacey is on YouTube, Substack, podcast platforms, TikTok, and Instagram. And it's just The Witching Hour with Lacey on all channels. All right, let's begin. This is not heaven. The agony, the pain, the slow suffering brought on by starving to death, and then the bizarre finale of having my blood sucked from my body, they seem like minor inconveniences compared to the current torment. Which leads me to believe that this is instead hell? I was a good man. I loved my wife, and my wife alone. I cared for my family. I looked after those in the community who were less fortunate. We went to church every week. How did I end up here? Did merely being in the presence of the she-devil seal my fate? Is her ship cursed to the netherworld? While I'm in excruciating pain, the room itself does not particularly feel warm, let alone on fire. No, rather the opposite. Where's the heat? Where is the brimstone? Where are the screams for the poor souls who went before me? There is sound, a familiar one even. Is that waves breaking? This can't be. I'm still on the ship. I'm not dead. There is no way I could have survived that. Could I? Captain, fresh meat moving. The captain in question is at my side immediately. The captain in question is indeed the devil herself. What's happening? She lifts me from my supine position and pushes my head to the side to examine the marks she left on me. Welcome back, Colm. I rip free from her hold with a strength I should not have. What's wrong with me? What feels wrong? That bite, how weak I was. What do you think? The banshee, more games. Don't play with me. Just one guess. If so only to move this along, I offer my guess. You fed me while I was asleep? In a way. She's definitely playing with me. In a way, what does that mean? Let's start over. I'm Gráinne, I'm a vampire, and now so are you. She says it as if that explains anything at all. This is all the stuff of fantasies. What's really going on here? Unexpectedly, I'm alone in this chamber with no better understanding of what has happened to me. There's no light, not from candles nor from the moon, but curiously, I see perfectly. Though I'm still in excruciating pain, I'm able to stand and walk around with an ease I have not possessed for months. I take this time alone to explore my surroundings. If the captain won't tell me what is happening, I'll figure it out myself. The room contains all manner of finery, clothing fit for a lady, jewels of all colors and sizes, and shelves of books. Some of these clothes and books are curiously old. Nothing in this room matches the woman who inhabits it. The woman I know wears far simpler outfits, similar to the men on the ship, and looks to be a few decades old, not someone who would have been alive when these clothes were in fashion. For the first time since I've been on this god-forsaken ship, I hear footsteps approaching at an inhumane speed. Of course, the witch is back to torment me with more of her fairy tales. She holds out a glass of dark liquid and an apple. Can it be? I haven't eaten the sweet flesh of an apple for years. How does this demon possess such a luxury? You think you want to eat this apple? A hunger that lurks deep within me takes over. When was the last time I ate anything, much less something so divine? I grab the fruit and sink my teeth in, ripping away the flesh and taking that first delicious bite. Only it's not delicious? What have you done to this apple? It's disgusting. There is nothing wrong with the apple. What's the matter? Not hitting the spot? She waves the glass of dark liquid under my nose. She needn't have gotten it so close. The faintly sweet smell of blood was obvious from a distance. It's a smell that has become commonplace in our time of despair. But there's something tempting about the liquid. Get that away from me. Now, stop fighting. Give in to your desires. No. Why do I want this? Why am I thirsty for this? Or is my throat so parched it will take any liquid offered? The next thing I know, I'm penned against the wall. I may be stronger than I was when I lay alone, starving, but I'm no match for Gráinne's immense power. She places the glass against my lips and tips the crimson liquid into my mouth. I try to keep my lips locked, refusing to take the blood, refusing to participate in whatever game we're engaged in. But I am thirsty. Wherever this blood came from, the damage has already been done. I part my lips only slightly. This single drop awakens something inside me, and I grab the goblet and gulp the rest of the drink as if I had never drank before. Drinking blood should make me gag, but it doesn't. I could drink another glass. I could drink 100 more. What have you done to me? She grabs my chin and pulls my face inches from her own. I told you, vampire. That can't be. Dropping my chin, she walks to one of the bookshelves. How do you feel after drinking blood? What do you mean? You've been screaming in agony for several nights. Several nights? How long was I out for? But she's right. The pain that racked my body is now less. The pain has subsided a bit. I thought God frowned upon lying. With my enhanced eyesight, I see her fingering the spine of The Vampire by John Polidori. It's very strange, and it takes a moment to realize what has happened. There's no pain. And what about your sight and sense of smell? Are they different? Much improved. You aren't in pain. You see and hear better. You couldn't choke down an apple but love drinking blood. You can't be this dumb. I look around the room for a mirror or anything reflective. However, I find nothing. Instead, I look down at my hands. I flip them over. They are as callous and worn as ever, but now they are pale. Any evidence of the time I had spent in the sun erased. I press my alarmingly cold fingertips into my neck. Come on, heart. Please don't let me down. Just give me a beat so I'll know for sure that this demon is still playing tricks. Nothing. The fear boiling up inside me causes me to gasp for breath. A breath that I realize is my first since I awoke. Can it be? My heart has stopped. Breathing is no longer necessary, but somehow I'm still here. I'm no longer alive, not quite. I'm something else entirely. But vampires are soulless, damned, demonic. I'll never see my bridge again. My little ones, I just told you I gave you, bestowed upon you immense powers. I just told you that you are immortal, but all you care about is that you won't see a few weak humans again? I lunge for her. However, either her reflexes are faster or she reads my mind because the demon escapes my grasp. She doesn't seem particularly interested in the fight that is raging inside of me because she merely stands there. Trying a different tactic, I throw a punch. It is wrong to hit the weaker sex, but she certainly doesn't fit that description. Again, she dodges me. I admit defeat this time. What I lack in strength, I have in volume. Leave! This is my cabin on my ship, but sure, I'll leave. On the way out, she pauses, and in a whisper, she adds, "The transition is hard on everyone, but these feelings will subside in time." With Gráinne gone, I crumble to my knees. My body is much healed, but it is on my knees I need to be for now. I find I am damned to a life, if it can even be called that, where I'll never see my family again. The one thing giving me hope over the last brutal months was the knowledge that I was going to be with my wee ones in my bridge for eternity in paradise. Instead, I'm cursed to spend the same eternity with the knowledge that I can never see them again, never smell the way fresh bread stuck to bridge, never hear the sounds of children playing. To have that promise of forever ripped from my hands is an offense I'll never forgive. Not knowing what to do with the rage trapped inside me, I wander to the wall and remove the vampire from the shelf. It's a small act of vandalism, but ripping the book apart page by page does provide some relief. Not enough to make up for the permanent loss of my family or of my soul. Nothing will ever make that okay. My body might be better, but my soul is gone, and with it, any hope. Who knows what waits in the dark? We do. I'll see you at the next witching hour. Please like and subscribe. The Witching Hour with Lacey is on YouTube, Substack, podcast platforms, TikTok, and Instagram. And it's just The Witching Hour with Lacey on all channels.